What's up, y'all? Welcome to Dova Trades. I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to audit my trades over the past 6 months, and here I've done that. And here's just a little bit of what I've done. I went through my monthly statements and my trade confirmations and tried to write down the date, the buy or sell action, the price, quantity, and ticker for all of my trades over the past 6 months. And here I'll just scroll down and let you see what it is. I color-coded it by day, so every day is a different color. And this just made organizing it in the next step a lot easier. And here's the next step I did, where I grouped all of my trades by ticker. So I could see all the trades I made under this ticker, under this ticker, under this ticker. And this is when I was really able to start seeing what was happening in my data, where the data kind of came to life. Until this, it was very grueling, boring data input, and then at this point, some trends started to come through, some of which I kind of knew were going to come through going into it, and some of which were a real surprise. So the first thing I noticed was which stocks I had my biggest wins in. So my biggest wins, I'll go down. This one is plus $50. This one was okay, plus $43. GameStop I'll get into. That was a wild ride. I didn't do this one because I remember it too well. Here's another big win on Nordstrom, $54. Big win on McGarish, $91. $82 from SKT, $35. Later on, AMAG, $85. That was through no fault of my own. I bought them right before they got bought out for a higher price. I just got lucky there. Revlon, $96. So that was, I think, probably my biggest wins were close to $100. And then my biggest losses, most of my losses were $20 or under, and I organized it on purpose that way. But here was a big one in Nikola. You guys, if you've been following Nikola, you know probably why that one happened. That was not fun. This one I knew I was going to be losing a lot of money on, but I did not know just how much I had lost from AXDX. I kept expecting the short squeeze to happen, and it just never did, and I just rode it all the way down, getting back in and out, taking loss after loss. But again, I had a really big loss here of $60, $59.11. Because I was just so sure that the short squeeze was going to happen. I saw upward pressure, and it had been going down for a long time, and the short interest was super high. I was like, this has to be it, and I got in big, and it went against me, and so I got a big loss there of $60. I think that was my biggest one. Here's another big one, same situation from TXMD. Most of the rest of them were around $20 or less. I can't see any other really big losses here. So after that, after I tallied up my biggest wins and losses, I looked at what was going on in those stocks where I had my biggest wins and biggest losses. So here was oh my God, GameStop. Okay, this is GameStop, GME. And they had a massive, very publicized short squeeze. I got in somewhere around here when I first started trading about 6 months ago, because it had a lot of short interest. I had just learned about short squeezes, and I waited patiently until, boom, it went up. I had about 100 shares. I was very happy with myself. Actually, I had just started trading options. That's why I had 100 shares. I wanted to start trying my hand at covered option trading. And as soon as I bought my first contract, the price shot up. It did this first short squeeze, and I panicked and sold the option, or bought it back, or however it was working. I think I was selling covered options. And then it plummeted back down again, and I panicked and sold the shares. I did make some money. It wasn't all tragedy. But that was an emotional week or two right there. And then it's just been blue skies on GameStop ever since. But I never traded it. I was too scared to trade it again. And now it's kind of trading in a range again, and I haven't touched it in quite some time. AXDX, this was the one with my biggest loss, my biggest consistent loss. So again, about 6 months ago, they started this big downtrend, and they've been accumulating short interest the whole time. And so I kept buying in, expecting the short squeeze to happen. It just never did. So I have to change my rules about when I get into trades. I think what I want to do is find stocks with high short interest that are either trading within a range or on an uptrend. If they're going on a current downtrend, I'm just not going to get in. I'll keep my eye on it if it has lots of short interest, but I won't get in while it's on a downtrend. Here's one, Revlon, another one of my big winners. That actually was on a downtrend and then had this short upside move, and then the short squeeze happened. So even if it's on a downtrend, I should have my eyes on stocks like this with high short interest. And the way I was taking profits was I was waiting for a 3-day low, and I would update my stops at the end of every day to be at the 3-day low. And I don't know if that's the best way to do it. There's probably a better way, but that was the rule I had come up with that seemed to net the most profits for most short squeezes that had happened historically. I was looking at some old short squeezes. Here's another one, SKT. This gap up makes me so nervous. I have no idea how to trade with these gaps. Again, it was trading within a range before the short squeeze, and I think I want to try to start hitting these or getting into trades at the bottom of these ranges and then setting my stop somewhere below the range. What I noticed for a lot of my trades, my losing trades, was that I would get in at the top of a range thinking that it was going to then do the short squeeze, but sometimes that didn't happen, and it either continued it would either continue trading in the range, so I would lose money on the way down, and then other times the trend would reverse, it would break the range and go on a downtrend, and it was just no good. So I want to start to try picking the bottom of these ranges. What else we got? OPK. I was in right here. It was trading in a range. This was a winner for me. I was very proud of how I handled this. Rode the short squeeze upwards, and that worked out nicely. 3D. This stock has been very good to me. I was in for these squeezes and I think this is where I started my 3-day low rule, which, I missed out on some profits probably because of the 3-day out, but overall I think that would serve you well here. So yeah, that was my audit. I'm probably still going to be looking at this data. The only other manipulations I can do with this data is to start calculating, standard deviations. But I don't think that's really necessary. The sample size is small enough to where I can kind of eyeball it and do it in my head. It seems like my average loss was I might have to average out the wins and see where that goes, because it seems like the wins were either small or very outsized large. The wins were either $12, $8. Those are much smaller than some of my losses. Even my average loss, I think, is probably higher than I'll say it this way. My average loss is definitely higher than my median winner. And that might be a problem. I might have to shorten my stops or take smaller positions to limit my losses. Because it seemed like a lot of my losses were around $20 and a lot of my wins were like $10, except for the big winners, right? And that's my whole long-term strategy, is that just with a few of these big winners, with these $80, $90 wins, it'll balance out a lot of those small losers. Again, I don't have enough data, I think, to be sure of anything at this point, but I think this is a good process for any trader to do. Just look at your data objectively, see if anything pops out at you. It did for me. It did confirm some things I already knew, and also showed me things I didn't know, which is, of course, the most valuable part, right? So hopefully this was helpful. If anybody knows of any better ways to do audits on your own trades, let me know. If there's a way to automate this, I would love to know about it, because I mean, typing in all of these trades manually, off of monthly statements and trade confirmations was a nightmare. It was just so boring. So I'm doing it going forward now. I'm just doing it as I trade. So here actually I have to update this. I made a trade today that I have to put here, and I think that would be a good habit also to get into. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if there's any other ways to do this that I don't know about. And thanks for watching Dova Trades. Till next time.